Can anyone hear me? Nolan, welcome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I need confirmation that I can be heard. Thank you, Nolan. That's right, I forgot. So are you guys both on Nolan? Because what happened to the one with Nick Diaz, or Nate, or whatever the fuck his name is? Oops, I'm gonna get demonetized. Alright, let's get going. Just a friendly reminder to my audience out here. I have absolutely no recollection of what this game is, other than that this guy's trying to sell me a hotel. Or am I, or is he trying to buy the hotel? No, he's selling the hotel. I gotta find out who to give it to. Let's hear what he has. Let's hear what Davenport has to say about Ashley.
Well, that's surprising. I would have thought she'd be more emotionally invested in the Bellflower after running her magic act here for so long. I guess I must have misjudged her.
I guess I'll have to wait for Nolan. He sounds disappointed and surprised that Ashley did something. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Link in the description to all my socials. Alright, everybody's in. Like, comment, subscribe. That's Ashley. Mallory, right, she had a fucked up life, Mallory. Let's see.
I broke my arm at the zoo. You know those signs that warn you not to feed the animals? Well, you should really pay attention to those. I tripped over one, landed on the sidewalk, and broke my arm. It was okay though, because I had an appointment at the hospital later that day anyway, so I just had my doctor fix my arm then.
She's got all sorts of problems.
Oh, I've been to the hospital a lot. I tend to get hurt pretty easily. You know, I've had so many x-rays and MRIs. I'm surprised I don't have superpowers. I've broken a few bones over the years. I've been in all kinds of accidents. A hunting accident, a skydiving accident, normal stuff like that.
Why can't we let her keep talking?
I broke my leg hunting. I was sitting in a tree with my friend and we had a few drinks and she told a really funny joke. Anyway, I was laughing so hard that I lost my balance and I actually fell out of the tree right on an 8-point buck. They still gave me credit for the kill.
Back. Thank you, Chris CC, for the comment. Like, comment, subscribe. Socials in the description. NickCags42 on chess.com. Just realized we're on the damn casting couch, but anyway.
When you see people parachuting on TV and in movies, it seems like they're being gently lowered onto the ground like a feather. But I am here to tell you that is not the case. Even with the parachute, you're actually falling really fast and impact can be really rough. I found that out the hard way. I was walking around and a skydiver landed right on top of me. Actually broke my arm in 2 places and gave me a concussion.
Tip, bro.
I never saw the skydiver again, which is too bad because I'll never have a chance to thank them.
I'm spamming
Well,
top
if
question.
it weren't for them landing on me, I wouldn't have gotten a concussion, so I wouldn't have gone to the hospital, and they wouldn't have given me an MRI, so I never would have found my brain tumor.
Oh,
They say there's nothing they can do
goodness.
for me, but at least now I know I only have 3 or 4 months left
my
to live,
God.
so I can start checking things off my bucket list.
I am speechless. Oh my God. That was... Oh my goodness. Well, we know who's not getting a hotel. Sorry, Mallory. What is going on here?
I'm Alice Goodley.
I'm Walter, and this is Sarah.
It's so nice to meet you.
We're from Utah.
Mormons. We got some Mormons.
We are very lucky to live there. Our neighborhood is just dandy. But then again, I guess everybody says that about their hometowns.
We have friendly neighbors, a brand new school, and the best darn volunteer fire department you could ask for.
Well, it's It's not perfect, though. Crime has been on the rise lately.
Oh, that's true. Last Halloween, 2 houses got toilet papered.
Yeah, a bunch of us pitched in, and we got those houses cleaned up by noon. Still, it was kind of disappointing to know that something like that could happen only a few blocks away.
Cleaning up all that toilet paper was really fun, though.
That's our Sarah, always looking on the bright side of any situation.
No shot in hell these people would fucking be a Klan rally in a half hour.
We love this hotel. We come here every year on vacation.
We take a lot of family vacations together. The only thing better than seeing the world is seeing the world together.
This is my favorite vacation we take. I love coming here to Vegas.
That is true. It's all she talks about for months leading up to the trip.
I do get pretty excited about our vacation time.
Ooh. Let's hope both of these are here.
I take 2 weeks vacation from my dental practice each year so we can go on a family trip.
It's safe to say our Las Vegas trips are our favorite. This is our 3rd year in a row coming here.
Next year, I'll be old enough to go to the casino floor.
Sarah won't be 21 until next month.
A few years ago, we heard that Las Vegas had undergone some changes and was very family friendly now. Once we heard that, we just had to come check it out.
And we were not disappointed. There's a lot more to do here than just gambling and attending wild rock concerts. There's an aquarium, a history museum, and gondola rides.
We even found a soup kitchen that lets us volunteer every time we come here.
We do participate in some of the wilder activities too. Last year, we toured the Pinball Hall of Fame. I figured we are in Vegas after all. We might as well get a little crazy while we're here.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm at a loss for words. I wish I was being more conversational with my audience, but
We've never been to a rock concert. We really should go sometime though.
Walter wasn't the biggest fan of rock music for the longest time, but it was Sarah that convinced him to give it a try.
All the rock music I heard growing up just seemed so edgy. I figured it wasn't for me.
Daddy just hadn't listened to the right bands.
That's true, because I wasn't the biggest fan of rock music either, when all I ever heard were wild groups like the Beatles and Billy Joel. If Sarah hadn't shown me that there were less rowdy bands out there, I'd probably still be missing out.
It is amazing how much Sarah's
yeah,
changed
you know
our
they
lives.
listen to Rush. Imagine if there was just a 5th question. Rush? Question mark? Test for echo? Question mark? Gonna have to ask about dentist.
My father and grandfather were both dentists. All the men in my family were. Well, except for my brother Stephen. It's a family tradition.
Stephen is quite the rebel. He lives by his own rules.
He's a pediatrician in Salt Lake City. That's clear across the state from us.
He only comes to visit a few times a year, usually on holidays.
We do drive up to Salt Lake City once in a while. My friend Linda lives there too, so we get to visit her and
She's
Stephen.
low-key got big boobos.
None of us gamble, but I don't understand why it has such a bad reputation.
I've never gambled before, but I do want to try it when I turn 21 next year.
I've tried it. Gambling isn't really for me, but it seems like an innocent enough pastime.
Our trips to Salt Lake City are one of the few things we have trouble agreeing on. There's just so much to do, and everybody wants to do something different.
I like to go to the zoo, Sarah likes the planetarium, and Walter likes the Natural History Museum.
We started playing a board game right before our trip. The winner gets to pick where we go.
Sarah usually wins, but she's very
I already
gracious when
am
she does.
demonetized
Last time
from
she
the
won, she picked the zoo
stream,
to make
so-
Alice happy.
I won twice in a row.
Do what you
I
will.
would have felt selfish if I picked the planetarium both times. Plus, we hadn't gone to the zoo in forever. It wouldn't have been fair.
Chris, your emojis are
Sushi
coming
is the
through as
best.
text. I can't even describe what I'm seeing. Nolan, thank you. I thought the same thing. Nolan, I thought the same damn thing.
We all love doing charity work, but to be honest, Alice and I don't find nearly as much time as we should. Sarah, on the other hand, always finds the time.
She volunteers every week at an assisted living facility, a food bank, and an animal shelter. I wish I had her youthful energy.
Thank you.
There we go.
They're just being
I see
modest.
those
They both do
emojis
plenty.
of a
When I
blind
was younger,
person.
I did what I could. Now all I really do is make the occasional donation.
What about when we went to the beach last summer?
That's true. We spent the day cleaning the beach, and we had a contest among ourselves to see who could collect the most trash bags worth of litter.
Daddy won by a full bag.
It doesn't matter who fills the most bags. What matters is doing our part for the environment.
Every piece of litter you pick up off the beach is one less piece that'll make it into the ocean. That's what Daddy always says.
Excuse me.
I love volunteering there.
Some of Sarah's best friends are residents there.
She's talking about Harold and Eleanor. I've learned so much from them.
They love having her there too. They tell me all the time.
Walter and I thought we did our fair share of volunteering.
I'm waiting
but
for the Woj
Sarah
bomb
puts
from
us to
this
shame.
family.
It really shouldn't count as work if it's fun to do.
Oh my gosh, so many people.
I've been helping out at the shelter for over a year now. I love working with the animals.
We used to be part of the neighborhood pet patrol.
Whenever anyone in our town lost a pet, we'd post flyers and work the phones until that family had their missing member back.
I miss doing that.
We used to be part of the pet patrol, but it's handled online now. I hear it's very efficient, but we don't have the internet in our house, so we're not part of it anymore.
Whoa. They don't use the... Okay, that's a bit far.
I know people who have internet in their homes, and it does seem pretty useful.
I was
but
trending in the
there's
right
a
direction
lot
with
of
these
pet
people.
stuff online.
I've been online, and there's a lot of good stuff on there too.
I'm sure it has its uses. It's just too easy to stumble across unpleasant language or other bad things. I just don't want it in my home.
Walter's dental practice does have its own website. People can book appointments online.
My secretary Janet runs the site for me. We have internet at the office, and she is great at using it. She spends some of her downtime on a website called The TikTok.
Oh, I've never heard of that one. What is it for?
Honestly, I have no idea. Janet has showed it to me
The
multiple
TikTok,
times,
the
and I just can't
TikTok.
wrap my head around it.
You guys should check out his dental practice website, www.bankbros.com.
I've known Janet for years. She's in my book club.
I play golf with her husband Frank. They're good people.
Frank and Janet invited us up to their fishing cabin this weekend, but we had to turn
There's...
them
I'm
down.
waiting
We
for the
didn't want to
Woj
be
bomb
rude by
for this
declining, but
family.
fishing really isn't our cup of tea.
I just don't see how snatching another life form from their home could be fun. What did those poor fishies ever do to us?
Alright, gotta start asking about these people.
Eleanor was a phone operator for most of her life. From what she says, there was a time when operators had to manually make phone calls go through. I can't even wrap my head around that.
I've known Eleanor for years. She organized the town's first bake sale, and she always had the best Christmas decorations every year when I was growing up.
Our town gets very into Christmas lights. Walking around and looking at all the decorated houses, it's a tradition for us.
I prefer driving around. It's a lot warmer.
Can't disagree with that. Sarah and I don't like the cold weather as much as Walter does.
Oh, I've always loved the winter. Playing outside in the snow is one of
If
my
I see a
favorite
cock
things
and balls
growing
soon,
up.
I
I've
won't
stayed
be
more than my
surprised.
fair
That's all
share
I'm
of
gonna
snowmen.
say.
I'm more of a summer girl.
Me too. Harold is the friendliest person you'll ever meet. He can go on for hours about the past.
He used to own the hardware store in town when I was a kid. They had a toy section that was only a few feet wide, but it felt like a full toy store to us kids.
You know, the way you're going on about the past makes you sound a little like Harold.
Well, I don't think I'm quite the storyteller Harold is. He really likes to go into detail.
That's true. He once told me a story about toilet paper that lasted for 20 minutes. It was a good story.
We've all heard that one. Harold likes to go on and on about how toilet paper rolls have gotten smaller and smaller over the years. So now you have to buy a 12-pack of toilet paper just to get the same amount of toilet paper that used to come in a 4-pack.
He has a point. I mean, if they still made them like they used to, my grocery trips would be a lot easier. Linda was my best friend back in high school. She was a bit of a troublemaker back then. To be honest, I was a bit of a rascal myself.
It's true. Alice and Linda were big mischief makers. Now, it may seem hard to believe now, but Alice was quite the prankster in her teenage years.
How come I've never heard about this before?
Well, I'm not very proud of some of the things I did, so I
Oh,
don't
boy.
talk about them much.
Can you tell me about
Is
one
this
of them?
gonna be,
Please.
probably not.
Okay. Every April Fool's Day, Linda and I would send someone a pizza they didn't order as a prank. We paid cash, so it couldn't be traced back to us. And we'd also tip the drivers so they wouldn't get stiffed in the gratuity.
I hope none of those people were trying to lose weight. That could knock someone off their diet.
We were young and reckless. We didn't think about the consequences back then.
I understand. I certainly got into my fair share of trouble when I was younger.
Alright, let's find out what Sarah said.
I've caused as much trouble as anyone. I was once suspended from school for smoking. Another time I got detention
Whoa.
for a whole week for cutting class.
Whoa!
I'm no angel. I skipped study hall and snuck into the school gym. The principal caught me and I got a week's detention. It's really not a very interesting story.
Well, that's not the whole story, is it? You didn't mention why you went to the gym.
I was helping to set up a surprise party for the principal. His 25th anniversary at our school was coming up, so we had to do something for him. My study hall teacher knew and gave me permission to skip class, but I couldn't say that without ruining the surprise party. Still feel bad about lying to the principal.
Now, honey, lying is sometimes okay when it's to help the person you're lying to, like when we got you your glasses.
I know, Daddy, but it still feels wrong.
Do not like how she said daddy. That word is ruined for me. Anyway.
I was walking to my next class when a kid I didn't know dropped a pack of cigarettes. I instinctively picked them up for him, but just as I did, a teacher happened to see me holding them and sent me to the principal's office. I couldn't say they weren't mine without telling on the other kids, so I got suspended.
It worked out for the best. The kid eventually felt bad that Sarah was taking the blame for him and told the principal what really happened. Then he later became Sarah's first boyfriend.
Whoa. Stiffed.
One thing you should never do is stiff a service worker. Tips are most of their income.
I'm ashamed to admit I am guilty of that myself. There was a time where I didn't know you were supposed to tip housekeepers when you stayed at a hotel. I'd been traveling for years before I realized it. I have no idea how many housekeepers I stiffed without realizing it.
A lot of people aren't sure when they're supposed
A
to
lot
tip
of
and when
people
they
are going to
aren't.
get
It's
stiffed
a big
after
problem.
this fucking interview.
Well, I don't use a smartphone myself, but I hear one of the big problems these days is people don't know they're supposed to tip app workers.
I thought everyone knew that one.
Alright, this has been here for so long. I gotta ask about the fire department.
Being on the volunteer fire department is considered a huge honor in our town.
There are too many volunteers every year, and they can only let in so many
I don't
people,
think
so
you're
it's
actually
very
supposed to tip
competitive.
housekeepers. I don't think
The
these
exception
people
is
know
on
what they're talking
Thanksgiving.
about.
During the parade, they make everyone in town an honorary member. It's a nice gesture, and everyone gets very excited about it.
We go all out for Thanksgiving.
That's
We
a
go
day.
all
I have
out
to
for
say,
all
that is a
holidays
nice
in
fucking
general.
sweater.
You should visit on Independence
Guy's got
Day.
the
We have
St.
a
Agnes white
top-notch
underneath, but
fireworks
that's a
show
nice
every
sweater.
year.
Oh, and don't forget about the Easter egg hunt. That's my favorite.
Alright, I didn't listen to a single thing they just said.
Sarah used to babysit a little girl named Emily. She really looked up to Sarah. She always said she
I
wanted to
agree.
be just like her when she grew up.
One day, Emily had to get glasses, and she looked really cute, but she hated how they looked. She was super self-conscious about it, and she couldn't even stand to go to school anymore.
That's when Sarah came to me and asked if I could get her vision checked. She figured if she wore glasses too, then Emily wouldn't feel so bad about them anymore.
Daddy took me to get tested, but unfortunately, my vision was 20/20.
I've never seen somebody so disappointed to have good vision. That's when I took Sarah to the mall to get her a pair of fake glasses.
Daddy's the best. I started wearing them whenever I was around Emily, and it worked like a charm. She started liking her own glasses almost immediately.
Gonna have to ask about Sarah's first boyfriend.
It's not what it sounds like. A couple of girls at school were playing a prank on this kid, Tommy. He was really unpopular.
Nolan,
They pretended he had a secret
rather
admirer
you
and
not.
started passing him all these fake notes. They were just building up his hopes to crush them. Eventually, so many kids got in on the prank that nobody even knew where it started. I didn't want to see him get hurt, so I pretended I was the admirer and we dated for 2 months. He turned out to be a nice guy, but I was only 17 at the time and nowhere near ready for a boyfriend yet.
We
You'd
kind
think
of
the
get
hunt
the
was just
gist with
about the
these
kids, but
people. I'm
It's just
waiting
as much
for
fun for us
something.
grown-ups, too. The night before the hunt, all the adults get together and spend a few hours hiding the eggs. The next day, all the kids spend a few hours looking for them. It's like the adults get to play, too.
Sarah takes hiding Easter eggs
Oh,
very
I'll tell you when the adults
seriously.
get
Some
to
of the
play.
places she finds to hide them are downright diabolical.
Well, I remember what it was like hunting for eggs as a kid. The best feeling was when you'd find an egg in a hard-to-find spot.
Nolan,
someone
you
doesn't
know
hide
these
them in
people
places like
go
that, then the kids won't
fucking
get a chance
hog
to feel like
wild
that.
when we're not watching.
Sarah never does anything without giving it her best effort.
Protection
You
my
should give her
ass.
music lessons.
Sarah's learning to play the piano.
I'm not that good, but I'm trying really hard to get better.
Well, at the rate she's improving, though, she might be a famous musician by this time next year.
She's exaggerating. I wouldn't want to be famous anyway. Piano for me is just like a hobby, like you're knitting or daddy's gardening.
Typo in the subtitles. It said you are knitting.
When people get famous, they move to a big city so they can make lots of money. Once they've made all that money, they move to the place they really want to live. I already live in the best place I can imagine, so why would I leave in the first place?
I do crocheting and knitting. I make clothes and blankets that I donate to local homeless shelters.
We used to just donate money, but there are just too many people in need. There's never enough money to go around, and winters get very cold in Utah.
And since we're able to buy fabric in bulk, we're able to donate 5 or 6 times as many supplies as we could otherwise.
The hats she makes are really nice too. They're so much more comfortable than anything you can buy at a store.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Sarah used to only volunteer there once a month. She wanted
I'm
to
getting
work more, but
trophies.
they didn't need
OD.
the help.
I don't know if
True,
you guys
but
can
when
see
Sarah
that.
wants something, she finds a way to make it happen.
While working there, I learned that a lot of the local homeless people were illiterate.
She talked them into letting her use their facility to hold a literacy class once a week.
It's every Friday night from 6 to 9. There wasn't a lot of attendance
to
at
9.
first, but it's a pretty full class.
6 to
and I
9.
made some good friends there too.
It's the one night a week that I let Sarah stay out until 9:30 now. I don't want her coming home that late, but she's really making a difference in people's lives.
Bro, she's 20. Does she not go to college?
Walter likes the winter, but you will not catch me outside if there's snow on the ground.
We've never helped Daddy shovel snow once. We just stay inside with the heat cranked up.
Believe me, they more than make up for it in the summertime. I can't remember the last time I watered the lawn.
We do love finding excuses to work outside during the summer.
I'm starting a charity car wash. I already have a bunch of other girls signed up. We're starting on Memorial Day.
I love the car wash idea. There are always plenty of worthy charities that need the money.
Plus, it's a lot of fun. It's like getting to go to a water park for free. I love water parks. One of my favorite things about living in Utah is that we have so many of them.
I'm a bit of a water slide enthusiast myself.
I'm not really into the water slides. My favorite part is the lazy river.
I think Sarah's favorite part is all the attention she gets from boys when she gets to wear her bathing suit.
That's nice too, but
Whoa.
I've always loved water parks. My parents used to take me all the time when I was growing up.
My favorite ride is the one where you have to cross a bunch of lily pads while holding on to the rope.
Walter always
I
makes
s-
the
I
cross, though.
fucking
That
slapped at
defeats the
that game.
purpose. You're supposed to fall in. What's the point of going to a water park if you're not going to get wet?
I like the
Oh!
challenge. It's hard to get
Oh!
across. Plus, my feet get wet.
Oh, we're getting crazy.
I
Oh,
don't think he gets it.
we're getting weird. Oh, here we go. This is right to the fucking point. Right to the fucking point right here. Sarah's parents.
My mom and dad live just a few blocks away from us, so I get to see them all the time.
What?
Oh, did you think Sarah was our daughter? We get that a lot.
I just don't understand why so many people think we're related. I don't see the resemblance.
Yeah, Sarah and I aren't related, but
Oh!
We met Sarah when she was 18 and fell in love right away. She became my second wife 6 months ago.
I think I his first wife, though. Alice is amazing.
oh, Sarah's just being modest. She is an incredible wife.
She's a crackerjack in the bedroom as well.
Oh
That's just
my
because I had such a great
god.
teacher.
Oh, well, Sarah.
Oh my god.
Did you know that you could use your feet in the
I'm speech.
We
That's
had
it.
never heard of such a thing.
That's it.
Sarah showed us, and now, by golly, Walter can't get enough of it.
And don't forget the thing you do that Alice likes. I have no idea how she comes up with these things.
Well, I didn't invent them. I learned them on the internet.
Well, the internet doesn't seem that bad. Maybe we should think about getting a computer.
Can we, Daddy, please?
Oh my god, no. No. Nope. 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 I am speechless. We have been bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived here tonight. This is beyond the comprehension of what can happen inside of my own brain. I am speechless. I can't move. Alright, well, yeah, I gotta drop these bombs back to back on Davenport now. Fuck me. Oh my god.
That poor woman never catches a break, does she? I don't suppose it would be logical to leave a hotel to someone who's not going to be alive much longer than I am. Well, I did not see that coming. I mean, I only considered Sarah because, well, she seemed like such a
You
sweet,
don't tell me you guys knew
wholesome
this when
girl.
you got the game.
I had no idea she was married to an older man who already had a wife. I don't know what to think about that.
Alright, are we getting to the end here?
My name is Becca.
And I'm Todd.
We're from New York City.
Yep, knew that comment was coming. Yep. See that from 8 light years away, guys.
Oh, I mean, I love New York. We have the best sports teams, the best nightclubs, the best restaurants. It's such an incredible place to live.
Even if I didn't have to live there for work, I don't think I could ever move.
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many things you can only get in New York you can't get anywhere else. You should really visit if you haven't been before.
There's this Brony convention Todd goes to every year. I mean, even if we moved, he'd have to go back every year. No way he could miss it. It's all he talks about for a month leading up to it.
Brony? Yeah, I'm gonna ask about the hotel first. We can.
This is where Todd said we had to stay when we came to Vegas.
Yeah, we're in town for our wedding.
Mm-hmm. We actually ran into the owner of the hotel while we were checking in.
Wedding?
And he overheard us saying we were getting married, so
No
he upgraded
rings.
us to a big suite,
Yeah.
which was such a nice surprise.
And he was even more surprised when he asked if we wanted to be interviewed for your book. I mean,
Mhm.
this is certainly turning out to be a memorable trip.
I would hope it'd already
book?
be memorable, what with our wedding and all.
Oh, of course. That was a poor choice of words on my part.
Did I know I was writing a book?
It's a convention for My Little Pony fans.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds.
I mean, lots of adults go. Actually, it's almost entirely adults who go. Yeah, I think the TV show is super sweet, but I've only been with
Alright,
Todd
so
once.
he's a furry.
They don't really like
but you know,
girls going.
that's okay.
I think it kind of messes with
Oh.
the whole bro.
Okay.
Brony.
All right, it's quite a little wrinkle. Gay furry.
A Las Vegas wedding was her idea. I told her we could get married anywhere that she wanted.
Vegas seemed perfect. It's affordable and it can double as a honeymoon.
Oh, plus it has casinos. She loves those.
Oh, and it has strip clubs. Todd loves those. He actually made a list of all the clubs he wants to see before we leave.
What is
it was
this
just,
guy?
Just a list of places. There's one club on the list, but it's places that I want to see from the outside.
Todd grew up in a very religious household, so he can be a little embarrassed about these things. It's okay, sweetie. I've seen your list. It's perfectly normal for a man to want to see naked ladies.
So many. I don't even. Questions isn't the right word for this couple.
I wanted to get married in a church back home, but Becca wanted to do something original. Isn't that right?
Damn!
Yeah, we also
He's
couldn't
right on
afford
that
a big
fucking
wedding.
knee.
You know, Todd's work has been a little slow lately.
Yo,
I'm an actor.
he just
All
pushed that.
actors
She
have dry
pushed that
spells.
shit right
Part
off.
of the industry. Plus, Becca has a lot of debt, so we probably shouldn't be spending too much
We
money
just
right
witnessed.
now.
We just
Right now
literally
he's actually
witnessed
playing
sexual
Elmo in Times
assault.
Square. He takes his picture with tourists all day. He's so cute in the costume.
Yeah, I'm not Elmo.
Okay. Legally, he is a generic red creature, but we all know who he's supposed to be.
So many questions.
Todd's family is very religious, very devout.
Well, I'm not as devout as the rest of them.
Is this guy
No,
a
you're just being
pedophile?
modest.
I'm just gonna
He's
say
the only
it.
boyfriend I've ever had who insisted on keeping his virginity until we get married. I mean, how impressive is that?
Yeah, I mean Times Square Elmo. Come on. War crimes get less sentences than fucking those people. I'll ask about the virginity, sure.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It's kind of a big deal. I've had to go over a year without it, so
We've been together for 2 years, dear.
I checked someone off my list last year. We promised we wouldn't have to tell each other that. The baseball player.
Damn.
You know that list every couple makes of people they're allowed to sleep with if they ever get the chance to without it being considered cheating?
Yeah, which isn't really fair because I don't sleep with anyone, and she knows that. So.
Well, I've been trying to change that for the past 2 years.
I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get into heaven, so.
Really? Well, I've been trying to get him into heaven for the last 2 years with no luck.
Well, aren't you supposed to be only putting famous people on your list who you don't know?
Well, I didn't know him when I made the list. I just so happened to meet him a year later.
Oh, convenient.
Besides, Todd put my sister on his list.
That was meant as a compliment alone.
So this
okay?
guy's
She
a
knows that
is
I
a
would never sleep with
furry
anyone besides Becca.
My
pedophile
sister
trying to
did
get to
not take
heaven.
it as a
I mean, hey,
compliment.
we all
She's
yeah.
still kind of mad about it. Yeah, I took out a lot of student loans. I would have been more than happy going to an affordable law school, but Daddy insisted I go to Harvard if I wanted to work at the family firm. So I will probably be paying that off.
I
for
think I gotta
years.
give
I
it
don't
to
know
that
why Todd
magician or
puts
whoever
up
the
with me
fuck.
and all my baggage.
Right now, I s-
My little sister Rachel, she's so competitive. It's kind of annoying. So I was kind of a prodigy in middle school, so I skipped a grade, and then she skipped 2 grades, and then I graduated 5th in my class at Harvard. So she graduated 4th. It's like her only goal in life is to be just
you know
marginally better than
everyone
me at
was
everything
fucking
she
after
does.
they
The two of them
finished
have been
filming
at it since
this.
they were very young. Everything
At
is
once.
a competition between them.
Yeah, competition, I rarely win. But luckily, she did not go into the legal field. She took the easy route medicine. I'm kidding. No, if she had joined the family firm, I'm sure she would have been made partner 2 years before me, despite being 2 years younger. But it's fine.
Oh yeah, Nolan, I said that earlier. I don't know if you were here, but yeah, that couch, that I bet you that exact fucking couch is somewhere out there.
Kennedy, Seymour, and Cartwright. Michael Kennedy is my father. Barbara Cartwright is my mother. It's not the biggest firm in New York, but we do all right. I think street performer is more of an appropriate term. He's never done any sort of stage acting.
But I do have some exciting things lined up. Actually, I'm going to be in an upcoming film in New York.
It's a role in an unpaid student film. But it's a great start.
It's a very promising student film. It's going to be seen by a lot of people, and the exposure is worth more than the money, believe me.
It's a film about campus safety. They say that new students are going to see it for years to come. I just wish Todd had booked a speaking part. He has the talent.
Oh, well, thank you, dear. Thank you.
My father doesn't really like Todd.
Oh, maybe at first, but I think we get along better now.
Todd really wants to impress my dad. That's actually part of the reason why we're having this budget wedding. I'm sure Daddy would have paid for a big wedding if I asked, but Todd wants to prove to him that we're self-sufficient.
And we are.
These two are fucked up, but if she knows what she's doing, she might get this damn hotel.
You know, my parents didn't get married until years after they'd already been legal partners. At that point, my mom had already
That
long
knee
list of
touch,
clients,
we
a really great
witnessed a
reputation,
crime.
So
We
that's why she
witnessed
kept
a
her own last
fucking
name.
crime.
Plus, they would have had to change the name
You
of the
should,
law
if you guys saw how
business
he,
cards,
how she
ordered new
took his
signs,
hand
would have
off,
been a big hassle,
off her.
right?
That's why I'm keeping my last name. So if everything goes according to plan right before my dad retires, I will get made partner at the firm. That way there will still be a Kennedy in the name. Also, Becca Boner just doesn't really have a great ring to it for a lawyer.
Her name's Boner. Her name's Boner. Woj bomb.
Seymour was an older man at the firm. He retired when I was very young. I didn't know him very well.
Doesn't bother me. If she
Excuse
wants
me.
to keep her own last name to help her career,
Oh,
I'm
he's
full
Boner.
support.
Right.
Todd's
he's
actually
Boner.
thinking about taking my last name. That way, if we ever adopt children, we won't have to explain why we have different last names.
Yeah.
Wait, adopt? Adopt? Adopt?
Oh yeah, Becca here loves the idea. of
Oh
adopting
my
children.
God.
Also, we can't
Get it
really
off.
have children of our own because Todd's been
Get it
single ever
off.
since his motorcycle accident.
Oh, at least my accident was cool.
His friend Greg jumped over a bunch of people on his motorcycle trying to make a viral video. So Todd and all these guys, they were laid down head to toe leading up to the ramp. And Greg almost made it, but his
Guy's
back
not no
tire came
cock.
down
Guy's
right
got no
between
dick and
Todd's
balls.
We
legs.
don't need to describe every detail.
Oh, right. I actually have it on video if you want me to send it to you.
That's not necessary. Oh, I'm not a student. I just responded to an ad on the internet.
He actually dropped out of high school.
I wanted to focus on my career. Yeah, I was actually working for a cell phone company at the time, and it was a great job. I was making good money, and I wanted to move up, but they downsized, and a lot of us lost our jobs.
They laid off all the sign spinners at once, which was such a shame because Todd was so talented at it. We actually met when he was sign spinning on the corner at my apartment. He caught my eye right away.
Yeah, Greg is my best friend. He's a great guy. He's a guitar player.
No, he's hilarious. He does this bit every time I see him where he tries to convince me to dump Todd and go out with him instead. It's
so funny.
So funny. It sounds a little mean, but it's obviously a joke. He does it right in front of Todd.
Look at
I
this
promise
guy
you, it's
fucking
very
taking it
funny.
on the chin.
Maybe you have to be there.
It's not that funny.
No, it's very funny.
Not that funny. Yeah. Oh yeah. Greg is in a band. They're always trying to get me to join.
It's a Kiss tribute band called Hug.
No
with
way.
two Gs. Their whole gimmick is that they only
We're getting
play
closer to
acoustic
Rush.
versions of Kiss songs.
Yeah. That's the reason why I'm not going to join.
That and Todd only plays the calliope. That's that steam organ they use in the circus. You know, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Kiss only uses it in one song, so I don't really see why Todd would have to join.
We had one in our house when we were growing up, and I actually didn't have any interest in playing it, but I learned it because it was there.
I would sing something,
He's
but
kinda
they'd
shy
low-key
about
copyright
performing
my
in front of
ass.
other people. I totally used to be the same way when performing gymnastics in front of an audience, so I totally get it. He keeps promising he'll play it for me, but he never does.
I promised her that I would play it for her birthday, and I will.
My birthday was 3 days ago.
I meant next year.
Yikes.
Holding you to it.
Okay.
Yo, he's a gold digger. He's straight up a gold digger.
So I just moved out of my parents' house into my parents' apartment building, and I didn't really know my way around the area. So I was running late for a meeting, and when I went outside, I saw Todd spinning his little arrow sign on the corner. So I went up to him and asked for directions, and instead of just telling me where to go, he spun his sign all impressively and pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
That was like the cutest thing.
Oh, well. She came back after her meeting and she asked for my number, and we went on our first date the next
No
day.
fucking
and
way.
I knew she was the one.
Oh,
after our first date.
thank God he only went for the hand.
I knew it after the third.
Oh, did you?
Gonna have to ask about that third date.
We streamed The Notebook at my place. All my past boyfriends had refused to watch it with me. Todd not only agreed, but he cried multiple times while watching it. I knew right then if he ever proposed to me, I'd have to say yes.
Oh, there were a lot of them. Am I right?
They were all so full of themselves. Like, they were either rich or famous, or both rich and famous. The worst combination. That doesn't impress me.
They weren't as great as they sound, okay?
No, some were actually very cool. But I don't really talk to them anymore. Todd gets a little jealous when I do. But Todd hangs out with all of his ex-girlfriends, except Lily, of course. But, I'm not really worried about them. If he's not sleeping with me, he's definitely not sleeping with them, so...
I just gotta grind through these questions.
My parents
Why
own
are we
a small
so
apartment building on the Upper East Side. They let me live there
Ooh.
rent-free. I just pay for utilities. Todd's gonna move in with me once we're married.
Moving up to Regis Town.
Apricot's gonna have to move out, but it's totally gonna be worth it.
Who's Apricot?
My puppy. Her name's Apricot. Unfortunately, Todd is severely allergic to dogs, so she can't be living with us. But I'm sure it won't be hard to find someone who wants to adopt an adorable little teacup Pomeranian. I'll miss her, though.
Oh, Lily, she was just the worst. I wasted 6 months of my life dating her, and that is all that needs to be said.
She used to physically abuse Todd.
Oh,
I'm so proud of her for
God.
breaking up with her. Even more for talking about it.
It's not really what she makes it sound like. She doesn't know the whole picture.
I mean, Todd could have easily defended himself. But the thing about Todd is he would never hit a woman. Ever.
Well, no real man ever would.
Especially Lily. I mean, I don't think I could hit a 95-pound elderly woman either.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty then.
I used to date this famous singer. I'm not going to name drop because that's gauche, but you definitely know who he is.
A lot of women have been with musicians, and to be honest with you, we all know that musicians are not one-woman men.
It was actually pretty serious between us. I mean, he asked me to move in with him. I met his parents. It was kind of the real deal.
Oh, well, guess he was a good one, but I feel bad for her because he broke up with her.
Actually, I never told Todd this, but I was still with the singer when I met him. I didn't break up with the singer until we became official. It's crazy to think, if I hadn't met Todd when I did, I totally could have been married to the wrong person right now.
So, you cheated on him with me?
So I never told you this.
Damn, guy's got unknown riz even to himself.
Todd's proposal was the most unique one I ever had.
How many people have proposed to you before me?
You were the fourth. I told you this. Oh, the first guy was at the Eiffel Tower. Ugh, so cliche. Second guy did the whole, wedding ring at the bottom of a champagne flute at the 5-star restaurant on Valentine's Day.
That's
We've all seen it.
Yeah, these guys have no originality.
The third guy was the worst. He had the proposal up on the Jumbotron at a basketball game. Like, how was that supposed to impress me? He literally owned the basketball team. He could make it say anything he wanted. That sort of stuff, it doesn't go far with me.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just the lucky one. You know?
Well, so
Next
how'd you
question?
do it?
Okay, so Todd was helping me lose weight at the time.
She asked me to help.
And, I'd asked this of other boyfriends before, and they always dismissed me. They were like, "Hun, you're perfect as you are." And I was like, I don't want you dismissing me. If something's important to me, I want my boyfriend to take it seriously, too.
Again, I was just trying to help. That's all I was.
Oh, you did more than that. He tracked my weight loss. He kept a log of everything I was eating. I mean, it was like having my own personal trainer at home.
Yeah, it was she laid out everything she wanted me to do, and I just did what she asked me to.
And there was like this stubborn last few pounds I just could not seem to get off no matter what. So Todd told me he would marry me if I hit my target weight. And that was all the incentive I needed. I shed those last 3 pounds.
Nothing like
stat.
some manipulation.
I lost it so fast he didn't even have time to save up for the ring.
Well, I thought I was going to have more time.
I literally just didn't eat for 4 days. It was all the motivation I needed.
Wow. This is healthy, obviously.
We just decided to skip the whole engagement ring thing and the wedding band thing. It's such an outdated concept. Plus, Todd thinks it's a waste of money.
Well, engagement rings are a scam. There's a great Adam Ruins Everything video about that, actually.
Yeah, plus I deal with a lot of high-profile clients at work, so if I had a ring, it would have to be huge, something that Todd couldn't afford, really. I know that
Got
sounds shallow, but, you know, people really do judge you for the clarity and size of your diamonds, so yeah, it's best I just don't have one at all. Our firm represents a number of well-known clientele. I'm not really at liberty to name names, but there's a few athletes and politicians who you might have heard of.
You know, I was actually an athlete. I was the star player on my high school football team. And I would have gone pro. Everyone would know my name, but I had a knee injury, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at him. He would have totally made the NFL had it not been for the injury. I mean, once he kicked a 20-yard field goal in a high school game, like, that is extremely unheard of, from what I understand. I almost went pro in gymnastics, but that didn't work out for me either. When I was very little, I trained under the famous Italian gymnastics coach Sergio Endolini. My parents were convinced I was going to make it to the Olympics. I had the leotards and...
That's enough.
Oh.
Sergio Endolini isn't a real person, all right? We're not married. The only reason I said we were married is because I wanted to get a free room upgrade at the hotel.
As you can tell, he's a cheapskate.
Well, as you can tell, she is a hooker.
Okay, I'm not a hooker. I am a sex worker.
Oh, so
Here we
and
go.
we didn't even have sex because you were busy crying the whole time.
Here we go.
True,
Yep.
Not true. Not true.
No, it is kind of true. The only reason I'm still sitting next to this person is because I wanted to be paid for this book, so... And now, you've ruined it, so thank you.
I ruined it.
Yeah,
You're
did.
the one who made me look like a complete loser.
He kind of is.
You know what? I'm sorry for wasting your time. Goodbye.
Can I still get paid?
Well, that's disappointing. I guess there's no reason to consider them as potential heirs anymore.
Yeah, no kidding.
All 4 candidates have potential problems, but someone has to take over the hotel. I don't have any more potential heirs, and I've run out of time to keep searching. Now, you've spoken to all of them. Who do you recommend?
Oh boy. All right, guys. I'm thinking Ashley. Mallory's gonna Mallory's gonna be dead soon. Sarah is a Mormon. Enough said. Becca and Todd are a loser and a prostitute. Is Ashley? Wait, Mallory is the tumor girl, right? No, Ashley was weird, but there was something about her. Executive decision happening right here. You know what? You only live once. For some people, it's longer than others. Alright, now I don't even know who you guys want. I'm thinking Sarah. I think I'm thinking Sarah. Ah, but she doesn't have the internet. Oh no, she looked at the internet. I'm locking in Sarah. Wow, you guys just switched on me. Nolan said fucking Sarah and then switched to Toomer. I'm feeling Sarah, guys. I'm feeling Sarah. I don't know what to say. Here we go, Sarah.
Well, the only reason I was considering Sarah was because she seemed so virtuous. But now that I know she's in a 3-person marriage with 2 older partners, I see no reason to choose her.
Getting some pushback, but nevertheless, we persist.
You make a good point.
The fuck I do.
I may disagree with one of her life choices, but I doubt I could find a more caring person with strong moral values anywhere. Did you know that she spends her Friday nights teaching the homeless how to read? I didn't know that illiteracy was an issue among the homeless, but she's actively doing something about it. She's the obvious choice. Would you like to tell her? You deserve to be the one who breaks the good news.
I have no idea what's about to happen. Maybe it's underwhelming. Maybe it's the biggest Woj bomb of all time. But here we go.
It's no problem at all. We really enjoyed talking to you.
Is there anything else we can do to help you with your book?
Is there anything we can do to help him? He has no family and no close friends? That's awful. We'll be here for him, right?
Well, I have to be to work on Tuesday. Why don't you stay here and keep him company, and I'll come back after work on Friday.
I'll stay too.
The animal shelter and the food bank can get by without me for a while, but someone has to teach my literacy group on Friday. Can you do it?
Oh, I can handle that. Why don't you 2 stay here, and I'll come back next weekend. The more people hear for him, the better.
All right. Thanks, Daddy.
Where is Mr.
Oh.
Davenport now? Can we see him?
Uh-oh. Don't tell me these people are about to meet.
What do you say we go try to cheer him up?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I'm not ready for this.
Okay, let's start with our first word. All right, can we sound it out?
K.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
T.
Okay, now let's try putting some letters together.
What is happening? So did I beat the game? I think I just beat the fucking game. She was teaching the homeless people. Get with it. She was teaching the homeless.
Thank you for meeting with me. If this is your first visit to the Bellflower Casino Resort, I hope you're finding it a pleasant one.
Well, I don't know what I
I've owned
expected.
this place for over 30 years. Running the Bellflower has been my life's work.
No, I don't.
A life
No, I
which
don't.
is almost over.
I do not.
I have terminal cancer. and I've been fighting it for years, but my time is coming to an end. I've already come to terms with my condition, but it leaves me
I'm
with a
not
problem.
doing that now. Do you
I've
realize how
never
long
found
this
time to start a
fucking has been?
family, and I don't have any close friends. This hotel is all I have to leave to this world. It's my legacy, but I have no one to carry on that legacy once I'm gone. I need you to help me decide on the best person to inherit the Bellflower. I've made a list of 4 candidates, each of whom has a strong connection to this hotel. Unfortunately, I don't know any of them very well. I've invited them all here for the weekend under the guise that you want to do an interview with them for a book that you're writing about the hotel. Now, they're being paid a healthy stipend for their time, so you'll likely find them willing to answer any questions you may have. I want you to learn everything you can about them and report back to me if you discover anything relevant. Their names are Ashley, Mallory, Sarah, and the last one is a couple of newlyweds named Todd and Becca.
All right. Good game. I think the moral of the story is don't kink shame. I think that's what we learned tonight. I hope everyone can take as strong a lesson away from this game as that one. It's been a pleasure. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you all later.